Next one we're going to talk about is Mars entering Gemini. And my Mars is in Scorpio. I don't know why that's important. And Mars enters Gemini between June 26th and June 30th, but the peak is June 28th at 3:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is where action becomes mental and initiative becomes verbal. So it's all about conversation, words, networks, and ideas all like coming both together, but shooting out because this is Gemini. And what I was seeing is not a scattered, like throw everything to the wall, or it's not paint splatter. It's definitely more like blow darts where it's shooting out a whole bunch and very quick, very intuitive. What we're doing is we're moving from the slowness of Taurus, which is where Mars was the last, I think, 6 weeks, into a quickness of Gemini. And it's three things calling us all at once. You'll notice the pattern of threes coming through loud and clear. It's not that you have to focus on one, but that you will be able to access all three at the same time. And it's very interesting that you'll want to precisely pick which one to start with or which one to follow first. Not that you can't do all three, but you're going to keep getting information in groups of three. Okay, so the shadow of this one is scattered or scattering. And it's where you might say yes to everything and where your arrows go in every direction. So this is the overwhelm and the uncertainty. But the gift is agility and your capacity to hold multiple threads and weave them together. And that's where the three comes in. I love that so much.
Oh, and that's big grandmother energy, isn't it? Weaving
Is
everything
it?
together. Grandmothers are weavers. So
I hadn't put that together.
bringing all those different strands together and creating something beautiful from it. That's gorgeous. And I pulled some cards. And obviously, of course, we would have action and dream. So I thought that was super interesting. We have here, which is the card of Nettle. So Nettle in the Herbal Astrology is coming up, and it's all about action. And what we've got here is obviously rocky terrain around it with a snake. And the snake is all about transformation. And one of the things I think about Gemini is like sometimes in its like aerated form, you can get really swept up in all of these different ideas and wanting to move with everything super quick. But when we're seeing like the snake, I'm feeling like, don't worry about like transformation. Don't worry about letting go of those old things that don't serve you anymore, because you're going with this entirely new flow. I feel like everybody is running on like a new current. I don't know. I feel like the collective consciousness has just had a bit of an upgrade. And people are going, hey, I'm done with like the way that things have been before, and I want to do things differently now. And with the snake coming in, obviously it's like super grounding and transformational. And then where we're talking about getting swept up in the wind of the Gemini, which I love Gemini. Oh God, I love a Gemini person. They are the party person. They're the ones who you want to be going out with. They're great fun. But we've got Poppy, which is dream as well. And so it's allowing yourself to daydream, allowing yourself to think bigger. Like if you're already dreaming big, like cut that dream out and dream twice as big. Aim for the moon and you might land amongst the stars and still be really freaking happy. So a nettle tea will be really good at this time, I think, to like help with any of like that grounding. And thanks, Bonnie, for popping that in the chat.
I bought some nettle tea, but I haven't drank from it. And I bought it weeks ago and it's just been sitting there. For this particular frequency, there's a grounded practice. And on either Sunday or Monday, you want to ask yourself out loud, is this where my arrow actually wants to go? And then pick 3 to 5 things to point your energy at for this month.
That feels nice. Because I think you can totally get swept up in like the rush of ideas and the rush of excitement, right? Because you've got to think a couple of months ago, we were all in the mud, weren't we? We were just like trying to claw out of this. And now that energy, that really soupy energy is dissipated. Now it's almost like that fire horse energy is really kicking in, but we don't want to run before we, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. The word rushing, I'm seeing like a fast moving river. We do have to be careful of currents that pull us under.
And they pull us into the things that we don't want. Do you know? And when we're coming back to that grounding and to that transformation, it's like, do I want this? Does my heart want this? Does my soul feel excited about this? And if the answer is no, then no.
And I have a Gemini rising. So I do, people
Beautiful.
see me as a Gemini because I
Yeah,
have that.
she's the fun girl. We always want Bonnie around. I do honestly, I do love a Gemini. They're the best party people.
I love that.
Obviously, they've got other traits as well, lovely traits. But I'm always like, you want your bestie to be a Gemini because then you can have some fun.
Especially as someone with a lot of Capricorn. I think
Oh,
that, yeah.
I always, I've told you this story 1,000 times, but Capricorn stallion. That's what I used to call myself before I realized it was stallion. So I'm sticking with the stallion, Capricorn stallion.
I love that so much. I keep seeing like the really powerful horse when you say that.